at one point vowing to eat a photo of PewDiePie every day until he noticed, which lucky for her digestive system, it didn't take long.
PewDiePie goes all the way inside Belle Delphine. By the end.
That's, I don't know, that's pretty funny. I mean, as a professional troll, it worked. You didn't have to eat too much PewDiePie. Contains flashing images, adult references, and overpriced vials of bathwater. Jay Aubrey is the best, says Master Blender. Okay, so I'm gonna trust you, but here's the thing. I've had some weird characters over the past week popping up into the chat. Weird characters. Actually, past couple weeks. I would say around the time the war started in Ukraine, there's been a surplus of people who jump in here and they do really weird things and they play with me and my emotions. And if this is one of those moments where I just want to have a wholesome jamboree with all of you, I want to have a cup of bathwater, drink it up, drink up that cup of bathwater, and enjoy just the simple things in life. So I don't know what to do here. It's time to learn about the annals of internet history.
Banned from every social media platform known to man.
I tried to log in and it was like, this account has been terminated or whatever the notice is.
Belle Delphine, I believe, has some of the most boundary-pushing videos on YouTube.
Scammed people. Fans are turning on you.
Oh, Kubi approves? Okay.
July 1st, 2019. The day one woman would exercise an iron claw gorilla grip clutch over every last basement inhabiting neckbeard scattered across the underside of YouTube and Reddit. A chain reaction of online bedlam jump-started by the following 10-second Instagram post.
Rise up, gamer boys. It's time to get your gamer girl bathwater.
Adorned in a pink wig and blue bodysuit, the 19-year-old provocateur would go on to bottle and financialize her own bathwater, and despite any naysayers, went on to sell out the entire collection almost immediately. With the growing trend of drinking, boiling, vaping, and showering in the patented gamer girl bathwater, it wasn't long before her name gained traction across nearly every corner of the internet. Except at the height of her relevance, she vanished. Her Instagram account was nowhere to be seen, just 18 days following the release of the prized product, in fact. So what happened? And how did she manage to generate so much interest during such a brief period of pertinence? That's what I'm here to explore, as we return to a simpler—
I mean, it's a kind of marketing brilliance. I certainly had not heard of it before. It's the first time I think someone has become famous for selling their own bathwater. Like that is unique, right? Unique to Belle, or maybe I don't know. I don't know if there's been others.
Time of YouTube and TikTok, and make sense of the inexplicable cultural impact of Belle Delphine. First, I want to give a huge thanks to our sponsor, Kamikoto.
Kind of funny because like I don't know if the sponsors for a lot of these videos have that little back and forth with the creators first, where it's like, so yeah, we'll give you about I don't know, $2,000 to appear in your video. We'll give you a promo code. What's the topic? Oh, I'm probably gonna do it on an internet character. Okay, cool. Who? Oh, I haven't really thought that one out yet. There's just floating some ideas. Floating, you say? Oh my.
Has not been on the internet in 3 years, and they somehow do not know who Belle Delphine is. How would you describe it?
Mary Belle Kirshner was born on October 23rd, 1999 in South Africa. Raised in Cape Town until the age of 12 when her parents divorced and she and her mother subsequently made the move up to Leamington, England around the turn of the decade. Raised by a single mother from there on out, Belle was exposed to a predominantly Christian upbringing. She'll tell you herself she only simps for Jesus.
Oh, well, George can speak on that, I think.
What'd you say? She sims for Jesus.
Here we go, Belle. Welcome to—
You just opened up the Holy Trinity.
The danger zone. You have arrived.
It's that background in faith that may have made her hesitant to sell signed Bibles, but hey, you know, Jesus once said the grind never stops.
Let me ask you this, because I remember you did this, you were like signing Bibles, right? For
Yeah.
So did that upset your family? Something like that? Or did they not even know about it?
They don't know about it. See, with the Bible, even I was conflicted about it because the premise of the Bible, me signing the Bible, was like, what
self-obsessed person could sell the Bible and add price to it just because of their own signature. And I was like, that is such an arrogant thing to do. And I was like, oh, should I do it or should I not? I didn't know.
Belle didn't have the...
So is Belle kind of like, is she doing, is it performance art? Is that it? Like, you know, trying to see and flip social conventions, if you will, one jar at a time? Is this what I'm hearing?
Easiest time at school, though. As you can probably imagine, given her recent move, adjusting to a new friend group wasn't easy, and all she wanted to be was liked. Going so far as to injure herself for the sake of getting laughs. I had a swing in the garden, and I would fall off it just to make them happy. And despite a more recent change in tune, her bullies wouldn't let up.
Black Cat Lex, thank you.
To poor attendance.
It's about a female entrepreneur.
Being treated for depression. She
So you're
felt
saying she's a girl
completely
boss.
isolated, but with a limitless access to the internet and a lot of free time on her hands, it wouldn't be long before Belle Delphine found a sense of solace online.
Fucking protect me, dude! Ah,
With Filthy Frank?
Welcome to the Filthy Frank Show.
Being exposed to infamous provocateurs like Filthy Frank and iDubbbz at such an early stage of her life, that edgy, irony-infused style of comedy is what largely shaped Belle into the person she became.
I mean, I was practically raised on the internet. I think everyone from our generation, or my generation or whatever was, like every day after school, I'd go on the internet and I was kind of making my own person by choosing what I wanted to view online. I think that's kind of where all my interest kind of came from, is the messed out part of the internet that I was looking at.
Belle's interest and sense of humor is what ultimately led to her.
I'm gonna be honest, that makes perfect and complete sense. If you're like, yeah, it's someone who just grew up watching a lot of Filthy Frank. I'm like, oh, okay, all right, I understand it all then. There's no mystery here.
Apparent social exclusion, as she told Insider.
So there was this ironic Facebook post, and this guy was like, I love cancer. Obviously, no one loves cancer. It's, you know, it's obvious. So I commented, oh, I love cancer because you can go to Disneyland or whatever. Dumb comment. What happens when you live in a small town? Everyone sees everything. Everyone knows everything. I was getting messages, hundreds of messages from people being like, it's so not funny because everyone's been affected by cancer. So everyone was coming to me. I was like, what have I done? What have I done? And people were like, if you come to school, I'm going to beat you up.
Once that happened, the rest was history. Belle never went back to school, dropping out at just 14 years old, working a myriad of odd jobs for the rest of her teen years.
But that's kind of like, that is almost like, you know, how the internet is influencing the individual, and then the individual is then manifesting some of that stuff into the real world. Like, that is outrage culture of the internet, like the shock culture, right? When it's like, we're going to put something out there specifically because it's going to generate a lot of people's confusion, anger, comedy, whatever you want to say, or whatever is the reason you're doing it. You can drop out at age 14. I didn't know that. That's pretty wild.
Ranging from barista to waitress to babysitter, Belle needed to make money. In between, of course, posting to Instagram, where she began uploading low-res, dimly lit cosplay photos in 2015. Dressing up in flashy, provocative outfits gave her a new sense of confidence, as she found life tended to be a little easier for Belle than Mary. According to Spectator World, no one is going to speak to me if I'm sat there not wearing anything to comment on. But if I'm wearing something crazy, it'll start a conversation. A maxim that would surely go on to encapsulate her online marketing strategy, as evident by the time she, played Guess Who with a dead octopus corpse. We aren't there yet, though. In fact, Belle's internet obsession was only just beginning, and despite her frequent posts to Instagram and YouTube, she would amass no more than 5,000 followers over her first few years online. By 17, she was approached by an older man through Facebook, asking for control over her online accounts, reportedly with a plan to release nude photos of women who weren't herself, a scheme we'll revisit a little later. Before that, we need to cover how she blew up, thanks to the help of TikTok. Belle skyrocketed to fame.
Oh, I was saying that Twitch chat, you're on screen. Don't worry, because I saw Twitch chat being like, "Whoa, we're on screen for the first time," and I was like, "No, you're on screen. You're behind me in my heart always. Look."
Most particularly in the fall of 2018, rising to the top of the For You page on TikTok by playing along with the platform's trends and challenges. Her carefully crafted image gaining rampant traction on 4chan and Reddit, but it was her signature ahigo face, or hentai sex face, that really put her on the map.
Wait, that's how you pronounce that? Ahigo? It's ahigo? I thought it was ahigao. Why did I think that? That is, it makes so much more sense that it's ahigo.
in the Belle Delphine iconography. As she learned, the more risque she was online, the more people would pay attention. Whether she was being praised or relentlessly attacked, she was building a brand. And we all know what comes from that, millions of dollars. By November 2018, she had built up a whopping 850,000 new followers just on Instagram, totaling out to 4.5 million just about 6 months later. Driven by the same sweet blast of dopamine every other content creator strives for, I always feel great satisfaction after posting because it feels like I've accomplished something. Harkening back to the time she wore a
It's
new
not Ahigo Lamau. All right, we need to figure this out for science, everybody. I'm on Google Translate. All right, don't get excited. We're not looking at porno in the background.
Ahegao, ahegao, ahegao.
Ahegao. That one sounds right. I think so. I don't know. This was all for science, by the way. This is for educational purposes.
Of boots as a child. Everyone was looking at me. Everyone was laughing at me. I was hyper conscious. I got that same feeling posting the first photo where I showed a bit of thigh. A mindset that must have contributed to her subsequent publicity stunts, like eating a raw egg on camera, bathing with a dead octopus on YouTube, and eventually making an M-rated parody of a 6ix9ine song. At one point vowing to eat a photo of PewDiePie every day until he noticed, which lucky for her digestive system, it didn't take long.
PewDiePie goes all the way inside Belle Delphine.
That's, I don't know, that's pretty funny. I mean, as a professional troll, it worked. You didn't have to eat too much PewDiePie.
Pizza times. Thank you, Belle Delphine. Very cool. Now I can use her in the thumbnail for millions of extra views. Thank you, Belle Delphine.
In not even a year's time, Belle Delphine had gone from a regular Instagram cosplayer to the most relevant adult entertainer on the internet, recognized by the biggest names on YouTube and beyond, even scoring an award from P-Hub after a series of troll videos that resulted in being the most disliked on the site, because with more relevance came an abundance of more controversies, something Belle Delphine would soon become synonymous with.
So she's like still trying to ignore it though. If she had done this to someone else, like me, for example, I would be seeking legal action.
By 2019, Belle would find herself embroiled in a myriad of scandals. From the use of satanic symbolism to allegations that she was promoting suicide. And I don't mean the time she filmed herself making...
Nintendo says, Japanese wife says, ahegao. Ahegao. Okay, for the purposes of science and education only. Nothing else. Nothing, but ahegao. Okay, all right, we got it. We know how to spell and say that word. What that word means or what it represents, I'm not entirely sure. Of course not. Who knows?
Love to a long-range rifle on YouTube. It actually had to do with a video she made dancing to a song that said kill yourself. Really the epitome of 2017 grade edge humor. But on a different note, accusations of racism and cultural appropriation have followed Belle throughout her entire career. In Rolling Stone magazine, journalist Lauren Orsini compared the way Belle markets herself to that of Japanese idols or micro-celebrities who, quote, skirt the line between cutesy and sexy, with her controversial choice of makeup and youthful attire even prompting further accusations that Belle purposely markets herself as childlike, basically pedo bait. Criticisms that have been long attached to her controversial image, along with something else I'll try to talk about later without getting age restricted. Of course, there's nothing wrong with making money off your sexuality, get the bag at all costs, but we must remember her stunts were always intentionally designed to garner visceral reactions. She thinks everything through, so she must know how something like this looks, for example. I don't know, I think it's weird, but I guess not everyone feels the same way. As loathed as her curated portrayal made her in the eyes of some, it's also exactly what made her so adored by fans. Take, for example, Japanese adult content creator Marcia Hayes, who's more impressed by her cosplay than anything, saying, quote, I see her manga characters as more of an homage and not racist, which is why the consensus remains so split. To some, Belle is a clever entrepreneur using the strong devotion of sex-hungry gamer simps to her fullest advantage, while to others, she's capitalizing on the eroticization of underage girls while simultaneously disrespecting sex workers in the process, the latter being a line of criticism dating back to Belle's first days on the internet.
Hey guys. What's up? If you are new here, hello, my name's Indigo White, and I make porn.
In January of 2019, a curious video started making the rounds online, The End of Belle Delphine, published by fellow adult content creator Indigo White, where she made some pretty troubling allegations regarding the beginning of Belle's career back when she was still underage.
2 years ago, Belle was like Facebook cosplayer or something, and
I don't even know about this tea. I had no idea. There was, all right, here we go.
She got contacted by this dude. She was like 17 at the time. She's 19 now. She got contacted by some guy who was like older, obviously a creep. And he basically told her they could make a few $1,000s a month if she helped him steal girls' nudes off of Tumblr and pretend like they were hers and sell them while she was 17. Screenshots of them planning this. Here's them admitting and acknowledging that she's 17 at the time. She seems a bit hesitant at first, but then it doesn't really take too much to fucking convince her because she apparently wants to go to Venice or some shit.
One woman's photos being that of Minty Darling, confirmed by screenshots included in Indigo's video, where we see a Facebook conversation between the two from September 2018, right around the time Belle was blowing up, where she appears to be apologizing for and confirming exactly what Indigo outlines in her video.
I got in contact with Minty. Like, this is her statement right here. I asked her if I could put this in here and she said yes. Minty basically wants people to stop focusing on the money, and she's just hoping for a public apology from Belle and for her to like own up to her shit, take responsibility, apologize, you know, but she can't do that.
As apologetic as Belle may have seemed in private, one area of concern raised by the creator was that she never actually took accountability publicly, especially considering she allegedly spent the money on a trip to Venice, according to a mutual friend. I made some poor choices at Belle's age, but
when I was 17, I knew that you should not do things like that. She also asked Minty, she DM'd her when this all came back up, she DM'd her and asked her to make a public statement saying they were like all cool and stuff, acting like what she did wasn't literally illegal and borderline child porn since she was 17 and distributing pornography. You can't do that.
I mean, she says herself in this alleged conversation that she doesn't want more people knowing than already do, which I guess is honest enough. Her defense, from what I've gathered in these images, is more, well, it was a long time ago and I don't want people knowing about it, more than, well, I didn't do it. Of course, it's not like her army of incels are gonna factor this into whether or not they like her content. To this day, Belle has yet to speak on the matter on any of her platforms, suggesting this could have all been discussed further in private, or she just doesn't deem it worthy to address. Yet, as outlined by adult entertainer Princess Burple in Rolling Stone, this remains a big reason why Belle is commonly ostracized from sex work communities. A lot of people do not believe she belongs in our community because of this, going on to further suggest Belle's entire overall image may not be as organic and original as she'd like her fans to believe. People buy my pee, cum, etc. It's very common. I've even sold my own trash before. These are comments that came fresh off the heels of her most infamous stunt to date, profiting off her own bodily residue.
The only reason I'm doing this is to make profit and investment, okay? That's how YouTube works. So I have the Gamer Girl bathwater here, sent us a package that looks like it was previously used as a nail bar.
The first run of Belle Delphine's $30 Gamer Girl bathwater, marketed solely towards thirsty gamer boys for sentimental purposes only, sold out in a matter of 3 days. You had people who were genuinely buying it because they were freak weirdos, and then you had freak weirdos who bought it ironically, but they still purchased and consumed it, so it didn't take long for claims of the water.
Why did you vape it? Vape Nation, bro. Vape Nation, you gotta, come on. How else are you supposed to consume bath water? You know? Fat tugs, big rips, what are you about?
Clean up your room.
Giving people herpes to roll
Andy
in,
Strike,
along with
thanks for the
allegations
prime.
that the water contained no DNA at all, both of which Belle has since debunked.
The bathwater, was it real?
Yes.
And how long did it take to fill up that many jars of bathwater? And how many?
And how long did you soak in there?
And how many baths did you have to take?
I just kind of did it because I could, and I kind of wanted to see if I could.
How many baths?
Around 7. I just fill it up and scoop it out, and then you know I probably have
Well,
like 100 full.
Everybody, it wasn't a scam. Didn't get ripped off, apparently. So if you did buy the bathwater, apparently she had, you know, I guess, what would you say, seasoned it enough. I'm not sure if it was to your liking, but certainly it's not misleading as a product as one would assume, because you could just fill them with regular water.
One bath, and then I'd go in the next bath and like do it again. So it was real bathwater.
As expected, the mainstream media exploited the hell out of this thing, and Belle became a staple in 2019 meme culture practically overnight, sparking a wave of copycats such as Gamer Girl P, which was offered by a third party for $10,000 a pop. I have no idea if anyone bought this, but I'd really like to believe some clever bastard out there made 10 racks off a bootleg vial of gamer piss. I'm lucky, Belle stated. I can do crazy things and get to see the world react to it, and there's definitely enjoyment in that, even if it's
Of the many
sometimes a little
Lens
scary.
characters,
I get a bigger reaction to my weirder content, but I think that's only possible because I also make risque content. I think it's been amazing and fun, but it's time to move on to new things. I have a diary next to my bed full of crazy ideas. I'm not sure what will top this, but I'm looking
My cousin used to sell pee on eBay when he was 18. He used to sell, like, and what, was that pee for people who just want to drink it? Or was it for, like, is it for, like, I know there are some people who believe it has medicinal properties to drink other people's pee. Or was it like a sex thing? And they were just like, okay, I'm buying this. Like, I didn't know you could do that on eBay. Like, that has to be regulated. Selling bodily fluids.
forward to seeing what will come next. Except what came next was Belle being kicked off Instagram. So not sure if that was in our diary.
For passing drug tests. Why you all being normal? You bunch of novies. That is the most logical answer. Like, why would someone buy someone else's piss? Probably to do a drug test and get passed. Yeah, you're totally right. Yep. Well, medicinal reasons.
Taken down over the weekend. So why did this happen? Was it the bathwater or was it something else?
Although it was never clarified which post caused it, Instagram murked Belle's account of over 4.5 million followers on July 19th, 2019.
Wow.
According to Business Insider, the removal had to do with a coordinated effort by users, as evident by screenshots posted under hashtag Belle Delphine that seemed to show multiple people reporting her posts for nudity or pornography, with one individual, Athlete the Dog, even claiming responsibility publicly. And despite fan accounts still gaining followers and traction to this day, Belle quickly turned to Twitter and Patreon.
And then there's King, which is $1,000 a month. You are the king of my world. God. You are my god. I can't possibly ever thank you enough.
Regardless of all the money she made over the past year, the pressure was starting to mount, as Belle became inactive on everything by August of that year and wouldn't show her face.
There's a comedian that used to recycle her urine for the purpose of reusing her meth and not letting it go to waste. According to her, the high she got from it was better than the first time around. Wait, do you smoke your own piss? Is that the thing? What? It's piss?
Again until yeah, not what I expected.
Drink it.
Hamster thing.
We want to know if it's real. Is this a real thing?
On October 7th, my birthday, Belle Delphine took to Twitter to alert her stands of an important life update that shouldn't go unsaid. She got arrested. With such little context beyond the smeared mascara and Metropolitan Police watermark at the bottom of the frame, fans immediately began speculating what their favorite e-girl could have done to warrant her own post on mugshotties. Tax fraud, CDV, manufacturing and distributing biochemical weapons across the UK. Turns out it actually had less to do with poisoning half the nation with bathwater and everything to do with a pet hamster, which was apparently stolen from her by a girl who came to her party. And after getting revenge by vandalizing her car, Belle was taken into custody.
That was the story, right?
That's a very elaborate drawing.
Or is it fake? It was fake.
Yeah, I was kidding actually. She didn't get arrested at all. Everything about that story was carefully engineered, planned out to cause a viral moment, and it worked beautifully.
Wait, the mugshot photo was fake?
Yes. Oh, I didn't get arrested.
That looked so real, that mugshot. I've seen that mugshot.
Even if it meant buying a real car herself and vandalizing it.
I went out, I bought a car, brought it back, spray painted it, and then posted it.
Damn.
Very same day. I needed to think of a crime that wouldn't make people actually hate me. Everyone loves animals. So if I do something bad, like on behalf of animals, people won't be like, oh, f her, she did a crime. Everyone will be like, yes.
After the mugshot, Belle would disappear once again, remaining inactive on nearly everything until a very bold return in summer 2020, when she burst back onto the scene on June 17th, draped in a Higo merch, bearing a new Instagram and TikTok, all packaged together in a controversial, scantily clad parody of Gooba by 6ix9ine that caught the attention of 45 million people at the time of me writing this. In fact, it caused such a stir it got banned, along with her YouTube channel, which was met with rampant outrage from Belle and her fans alike, leading both to be reinstated as seamlessly.
Boogie, what are you doing there?
The stunt catapulting her new Instagram to over 700,000 followers.
Wait,
and her TikTok.
If there wasn't any nudity, why did it get banned? That's very. It was just like, it's too tantalizing to some people. The reactions are too powerful.
Yeah, I guess it's just a given at this point. But the most important new announcement was her jump to OnlyFans for just $35 a month. Jesus Christ.
That's really funny. Elden Ring got the new Has DLC. Oh, good memes. Good memes. Solid memes. 10 out of 10. Would meme again.
You could gain access to lewd content of Belle drinking Mountain Dew in a bathtub of Doritos, which, if that's not insane enough, just now has turned out to be a multi-million-dollar venture, with Belle pulling over 7 figures a month just from her OnlyFans alone, which is an impressive feat, even if transitioning to full-on boy-girl scenes inadvertently put her at odds with her mother.
It's no different, really, from what I'm doing at the moment, because it's all awkward to show to family, so it.
Do they know? Surely they've seen it.
Does that
Surely
dinner exist, Belle? Is there a dinner with the family right now? How is that setup look?
My partner's side of his whole family, they all know, and they're very weirdly chill about it. They're all fine about it. They were like, yeah, that's fine. So that's pretty cool. but with my mom, we're not really on talking terms at the moment.
But because this is Belle Delphine we're talking about, she couldn't fully switch to a racier form of content without creating a social media upheaval. I'm gonna do my best to cover this without being slaughtered by Susan, but trigger warning for anyone who doesn't want to hear about SA, feel free to jump to the time code on screen now. In January 2021, Belle Delphine published what would become her most hated video to date, a scene depicting full-on CNC with Belle being tied up, thrown in the back of a van, and taken to the woods by a masked assailant.
Okay, wait, let me read this. In the BDSM community, CNC stands for consensual non-consent, also known as rape play. Although it varies scene to scene, it's usually an extreme power exchange where, according to previous negotiations, there is a victim overcome by a predator by force. People who enjoy this play often enjoy either the extreme lack of control or extreme control on either side of the exchange. This type of scene does not encourage actual rape. All proper scenes are done after much negotiation between of-age consenting adults.
With Belle being tied up, thrown in the back of a van, and taken to the woods by a masked assailant, triggering an entire day of discourse on Twitter. To many, the point of contention seemed to lie with the lack of content warning rather than the actual matter being depicted. As written by one user, never had much of an issue with Belle Delphine until her recent post. There should have been a trigger warning, and the content being made in the first place is extremely questionable. She knew what she was doing. As opposed to apologizing or just flat out ignoring the discourse as she's got a tendency of doing, Belle responded head on and appeared to double down not just on the video, but even mocked the lack of warning people took issue with.
As for people saying I should have used a trigger warning, on my whole Twitter/OnlyFans have constant themes of kinks as I do porn as a job, and I will not put a trigger warning on all of my posts. Do not follow me if you require trigger warnings before posts.
Your account isn't private. That was retweeted 10,000 times. That ends up on tens of thousands more people's feeds than follow you.
It's not entirely other people's fault that other people were upset here.
And they all see that. And that is going to be triggering for some people, and it's going to be enabling for some people.
She says that she has done plenty of work, right, to make sure that people know that she's posting hardcore porn. Hardcore vanilla pornography is not the same thing.
Hey, you put that really well, young cat lady. When you post this without a CW, you're non-consensually involving people in kink. That is true. That is true. That is a very good reading of it.
Is alluding to dropping a toaster into your girlfriend's bathtub. Just because one person is okay seeing nipples doesn't mean that they want to see somebody be electrocuted, you know? Like, there is a spectrum here.
If there's one thing that's
clear,
that is like
the
it's
best
that Belle
possible
has
take on that
curated
issue.
her persona in a way that crossing the line will always be a net positive for her. Even when she's pissing people off, she benefits. With an unwavering army of hard-paying simps at her disposal, everything she does and says will always be defended no matter how valid the backlash may be. Probably why she posted more controversial pics after the fact. It was at this point that Belle did the unexpected. Disappeared again for like the third time or something. I don't know, I've lost count.
There will come a time, I think, where I will just probably do everything, and then I think I'll leave. I think that's what I'll do.
Just fly away forever. Never see the internet again.
Do you think you're going to be able to give up the internet though? Do you think you can escape it?
I definitely think so. I definitely think so.
At the time of me making this video, Belle Delphine still hasn't been active on her free social media since early 2021, and from the looks of her OnlyFans activity, hasn't been posting near as frequently as she used to, leading some of her former fans to assume she may be gone for good, some suggesting she only returns to the public eye when she needs the money. At this point, she's disappeared and reappeared so many times that it's honestly hard to say whether she'll be coming back anytime soon. Could be tomorrow or never, for all I know. But what I can promise is that Belle Delphine has built a reputation that thrives on pissing people off. No matter how justified the outrage may be, she's proven that thirsty gamer boys will always be there to defend her no matter what. With that said, it's disingenuous to say her marketing tactics were anything other than impressive. It's not exactly a bold statement to say she's figured out how to game the system, and now she's probably set for life. I don't really know how else to end this video than with a passage from Rolling Stone author E.J. Dixon, who appropriately concluded, it's unclear how much of her shtick is savvy, self-branding, elaborate performance.
Black Cat Lex, thank you for the $5. That good commentary was done by Evie Lupine, asexual, poly, BDSM educator on YouTube. I endorse her content. Awesome. I will check it out.
Art or thirsty influencer willing to perform increasingly bizarre stunts for attention. What seems clear, however, is that she's very much in on her own joke. Belle has and probably will never cease to hatch the most ridiculous, incendiary ideas for generating as much money and outrage as possible, completing her transformation into the exact brand of provocateur she's always admired.
Oh shit. My read on a lot of that is that, like, obviously, I think a lot of those things are problematic, but I think if you were to do like a full analysis of just what Belle Delphine does and what does she put out there, I don't see a purpose in getting angry at people who want to make outrage culture commodities, right? So if someone is like, hey, I'm going to profit off selling people bathwater, make a whole bunch of money from that, that is like, you know, the game is the game. If people are going to pay to buy that bathwater, then sure, you literally invented a new market that didn't even exist before. So I don't have a problem with any of that or any kind of the business stuff, as long as it is obviously, you know, legal, consensual, all that kind of thing. In terms of the intention, the accusations of dressing up way younger than she is in order to entice people, again, I think that one probably speaks to a broader problem in society, that there is the hypersexualization of young girls. Like, that is just a thing that society does. Society loves selling, and this is like a time-honored tradition, especially in the corporate world. Like, when I was a young lad, when I was 16, Britney Spears was being sold hypersexualized, and she was also 16 at the exact same time. And I remember like a lot of discussion surrounding, like, is it right for Britney Spears to have these like hypersexual music videos even though she's only a kid, and all those kind of things. Like, that's capitalism, right? That's capitalism way more than it is Belle Delphine. Like, I don't think Belle Delphine is single-handedly like promoting pedophile culture or something like that. Like, she is the root of all evil when it comes to that kind of thing, because she's intentionally trying to appeal to markets that have been driven in large part by much broader things in society, you know, if you want to talk about that. Posting consensual rape play stuff without a content warning, that one is like a pretty big yikes. And I totally agree with people being really upset at that. Because yeah, it's one of those things where not only are you posting it to yourself or to your fan base, but it's also on a public thing where tens of thousands of people are going to see it. We need to hypersexualize more 30s blue collar men. How about that? Yes, let's do it. It's time for the fellas. All right, we're gonna flip the paradigm, and now it is mid 30s blue collar working men that are going to be sexualized. Well, I guess Pepsi did that a long time ago. There's that Pepsi commercial, right? Where it's just like drinking it so slowly, it starts to drip down his rippling muscles. Was that not a thing? Am I wrong on this? Maybe? I don't know. Can't remember. I'm here for it.
Do you enjoy the Serfs but prefer not to have to use your eyeballs? Many are saying this. Well, we've got the solution for you. It's the Serf Times in podcast form. Available on most major podcasting networks now. If you enjoy it, please consider leaving a good review and feedback, because it really helps the show out, apparently, and it's free, just like the podcast.
To our gods, Xander Corvus and Peyton L. Just, we are prepared to conduct many a human sacrifices in your honor. To our monarch, Tom Spiker, we are but your humble yet incompetent jesters, trying in vain to bring some levity into your life. To our Lord Trevor R., we give you thanks for this meager plot of land for us to toil away our pathetic existence. To our brave knights, Carl Wauer, Tony, DM Rivera, Resident Scarecrow, Sir Nickus, Mayred, Cheryl Alvarez, Ruben Kelly, Brandon, Words Greenwood, Nate, Hegbert Celine, Matthew Scarborough, Stellar Vision, Ariane McCarthy, Daniel Sutton, Coulter Smith, Jenna Tal, Quiet 185, Anna Loves Riley, Omni, Riley and Anna, Poodlehawk, The Tim Caucus, Multimondi, Trevor Janis, Lemmy 101, Anthropophojack, Saren 42, Catherine, Ramon Acosta, Nkosin, Agent NDN, Violent Orchard, Political Puppy, Andreas Chiringuito, Zach Christensen, Todd Buckingham, and Todd Lajeunesse. We salute our mighty heroes off to conquest some bread in some far-off land.